What up? All right, we're back for another episode of Closing Conversation. Can we call it episode, Brandon? I think we can. All right, we're back for another episode, all right, of Closing Conversations where we're calling community members of our program, the U. We're calling their leads live right here for them. All they have to do literally is use our AI software, offerbolt.io, to go talk to homeowners, find homeowners who are interested in selling their property using automated conversations with AI, scheduling calls on their calendar around their availability, and then they send those calls over to us for us to do the hard work, the heavy lifting of having seller conversations, getting people under contract. Hope everybody's having a really good Tuesday. It's time to rock and roll. Brandon, you want to introduce yourself, man? Let people know who you are. Chat, if you're here, give me a fire emoji, lightning bolt emoji. Send this to a friend. Hit like, share, subscribe, whatever all the buttons are here. Brandon, man, let the people know who you are, man.
Yeah, guys, Brandon Barnes here in the Atlanta market. Super excited to be here as always. And this is for you. This is for you to learn how we go out and have these conversations so you can go into your own market and do this too. And if you aren't part of the U, you are missing out on the greatest real estate investing community in the nation. AskChrisJefferson.com. Ready to lock in. Let's get something under contract.
No doubt, man. All right, well, let's jump into it, man. I'm going to let you do the honors as always, man, and set us off on our first call, our first rodeo of the day. Let's see what you get today, man. Recently, I feel like you've been getting some interesting sellers. All right, and I think people are just in that zone right now, right? Just everything's happening. There's a lot happening in the world, a lot happening financially. People are under immense pressure at the moment, man. I don't know about you, Brandon. I've been having crazy conversations with a lot of people, and a lot of the conversations I see are rooted in pressure. You know, the exterior pressure that exists right now. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of volatility. I don't even want to say how much money I've lost in stocks in the last couple of weeks because, you know, if I talk about it, man, I'm probably going to have to go to the doctor to get anxiety medicine or something, man. But, you know, there's a lot of that existing right now. And if we're feeling it, then it certainly means that the sellers are feeling it. So I think we're going to start seeing an uptick rather in tough conversations, sellers that are frustrated, because what do we do with pressure? We pass it down, right? We pass it down. So let's see what some of these conversations look like. I see the chat is here. I see the U family is here. Let's get rocking and rolling, man. I'll let you do the initial honors, my guy.
Yeah, let's get into it. Got one. She should be waiting for this call, so hopefully this is a good one.
This call may be recorded for training purposes.
Hey, Miss Neffy. She hung up with the quickness. Hey, I just tried to call back. All right. This is hopefully she gets this and picks up. Yeah, I hate that we have to play that recording for the folks that know that we're calling. It hasn't been an issue, but if they don't recognize the number, sometimes it can't hurt. All right. Well, yeah, I shot her a text. We will see if she hits back. That was Miss Neffy. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna switch over to some of the new leads that just came in over the past few days. And I know we reached out to a few of them already. But let's see if this one picks up.
I'm pulling up some stuff here myself.
All right, I'm going in.
You're in New Live.
No, I'm taking care of the HOP Live new.
All right, bet.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Charles, this is Brandon. Give me a shout back about your property there on Jonadab Road. Is this a good time?
I'm not selling that. That's where I live.
Oh, okay. Was there another property that I got that mixed up with?
Well, I got 50.
Okay. Okay. Oh, look, I love duplexes. That one I definitely want to take a look at. Do you remember the address on that one? What was the street name? K Kell Keel. Ah, okay. Okay. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm gonna pull this one up, and I should be able to see the others, and we can go from there. Um, and those 50 acres. Is that was that originally? Is it like an area for residential, or is it?
Oh yeah, that's it. It's residential. It was an old farm. I sold all the rest of it off. I used to have 300 acres. Sold it off in different chunks, and different people developed it.
Nice. Well, yeah. So, out of this, I see that there was one other address that pulled up. So I will.
Well, where?
Yes, I got Back Creek pulled up. Let me talk about that one. Is that one rented currently, or is it vacant? Back Creek.
You're so close to that car. You gotta straighten your up tires or you will hit that car.
That car pulled in after me.
Yeah, but you're so close. The front tires was inside.
Yeah, I tuned in when he went in.
Straighten that up. You're so close.
Mr.
One
Charles.
time I get in the lines and see.
You're so close to that. Just get away from that car. You have plenty of space until you're out. Keep on, Chuck. And now turn. Yeah, I hope that they don't get lost. That's that.
Hey, Mr. Charles.
Mm.
Sound like he was parking somewhere. Might have to call him back. So he gave me two other addresses, but the one with the 50 acres, I'm gonna have to look up or call him back. It was kind of hard to understand him. And then he had another duplex. He said it was like on Kill Road. And I asked him to spell it, and he said something about where flight was invented, which where is like the Wright brothers? I don't know what he was talking about. First flight address. No, that's Manteo. The Wright brothers flew out of National Park Drive, Manteo, North Carolina. So I don't know what that was. So that's one of those ones. We probably got to call them back, and I might try him real quick just to see if I can get back on the horn. He sounded pretty busy. See if I can get those other addresses. It's not pulling up. You know, if you're in batch leads, which we use a lot, it just shows.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated.
It shows you like the other addresses that they're associated with, and the only other address that it was associated with was some small, almost like a shack. So probably not a good investment deal. But the duplex and the 50 acres definitely seem solid. Hey, Mr. Charles. Hey, Mr. Charles. Mr. Charles. Call me back. You get it situated. Okay, and then we're moving on to the next one. I think Chris is facing, he probably got too many damn tabs open. You know how that goes. But we got a bunch more to call that's been submitted as of late. So I'm gonna go straight to the next. And starting from the top. Miss Angel. Yeah, bro. Gotta love it when people are having back end conversations, man. It's, you know, at least he ain't talk too crazy because some people don't even. Hey there, Mr. Porras. This is Brandon. Give me a shot back about South Warren in Columbus. Is this a decent time to speak? Hello. Hey, how's it going?
All right.
Hey.
How can I help you?
Yeah, this is Brandon. I was giving you a shout back about South Warren. Wanted to follow up with you. I think you spoke with my partner recently about the property. Let me know that you were interested in an offer. So I wanted to give you a shout back and see if this was a decent time to talk about it.
No.
No?
Nope.
Are you thinking about selling at all?
No.
Okay. Is it something that I can reach back out in the future, you know, a later date that you may be interested? Okay. All right. Well, we will make sure to remove you. I think he has spoke with my partner Steve back on April 5th. You had an asking price of like 120, 125, long-term tenants. It doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, I think I talked to somebody, yeah. But it's been a long time, so.
Got it. Has anything changed since then?
No, but I mean, they called me if I interested in selling. And I say no.
Okay. All righty. Well, look, maybe I'll reach back out in the future. A few months down the road. You know, I know it's tenants are month to month and things happen. Sometimes, you know, they decide to move out and you just say, hey, I don't feel like getting it rented back again.
Do you looking for buy or you just looking who is desperate to?
No, look, we purchase, we do, you know, buy and hold long term, we do fix and flips. So we'd be looking for ourselves.
Okay.
You know, every once in a while, if it doesn't work, we may work with a partner, right? And you know, work out a deal. But everything that I look at initially, I'm looking at for myself to see if it's a good opportunity for us. And between me and my partner, we have like 20 plus years of experience doing deals, you know, new construction, fix and flips, as well as rentals and multiple markets.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Well, yeah. I've been looking around at the other comparable home sales in the area. I don't think
Yeah.
your asking price is too far off, especially if it's in solid condition. Um, of course, I don't know the details. I know you've had it for 7 years. Maybe the tenants have been in there 7 years. Own the property for 7 years. Okay, roof is old.
Yeah.
Requires cosmetic roofing, original condition. And you were thinking about 1031 exchanging it into commercial property?
Well, I'm trying to find a commercial property.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, we definitely work with folks that may even have something. When you're looking for a commercial property, are you trying to find something also in that Columbus, Ohio market?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I've been able to help in the past with somebody looking to do a 1031 exchange. She was just going single family to single family. And so I was able to present some other opportunities for her that she successfully closed on. As far as commercial, between me and my partner, we definitely work with a bunch of commercial investors, agents. I can even put you in touch with somebody to help find that next investment vehicle for you. Are you looking for something like mixed use, multifamily, something residential, or
No, it's like a commercial product multi-use.
Say that again. Was that commercial? You said you're looking for something more commercial, like a mixed use shopping center type, or
No. I mean, I guess it's more commercial for like to put a business like a mechanic shop or something like that.
Got it. Okay, like a mixed use commercial. Okay. Well, yeah, we may be able to source up some opportunities for you. But first we would have to take care of this one. And just by looking at it, I wanted to give you a sense of where our ballpark would be on something like this. And as I am looking, give me 2 seconds. I'm pulling it up in a different system. It looks like we can be in a decent area for you. You got a really good deal on this.
Yep.
I bought it for like $15K. That's gonna be like a 10x return maybe here, which is great. It seemed like a savvy investor. Did you do any work to it when you first bought it?
Yeah, I had to pretty much redo. No, everything, but I mean I think they put new furnace, I don't remember if I put hot water tank if it was there, and a lot of cosmetic.
Got it. So yeah, like I said, I don't think that your ballpark is super far off. And I'm looking at one. I mean, there are a lot of properties that I see that sold really cheap as is, but I believe a lot of these are selling like in really bad condition that are then being fixed up and resold. But if it's like solid, move-in ready, I think I could be close to 100K on this.
Yeah, that's good offer for. Not good enough for me.
When you said you wanted to be at 120, I mean, we're only talking 20K here of a difference. Yeah. What can you do for me? But, I mean, I want to try to make this a good deal for you. That you can.
I can nothing for you.
If I came up to 105, how about that?
No.
Yikes.
Thanks for your time, though.
Well, hold on. I'm going to talk to my partner real quick and see what the best we can do. He's just in the next. He wasn't going. I might try that guy back and see if we can come up. That area, Chris, this is Columbus. It's a lot of property they're selling super cheap, like 30, 50K.
Shout
But
out
then,
Columbus, man. Shout out to Columbus. I like Columbus. Look, you know, these are gonna be those markets, man. About to start feeling the squeeze, man.
yeah.
About to start feeling the squeeze. I'm excited about it. I know you are too. I think a lot of people that are new to real estate probably have a lot of uncertainty around the type of opportunities that are getting ready to come up. Man, all the wealthiest people I know, you know, when they got wealthy, Brandon,
What's that?
on
And
the
when
back,
it
on
dipped.
the back of 08,
Yeah.
all of them, man. My biggest lender right now, he probably is watching this. My biggest lender right now, he just bought up foreclosure after foreclosure, property after property. And guess what? He did it all on seller financing, all of it during the recession, all on non-recourse seller financing, and parlayed that. Once he got, I think it was 2012, he was able to refi into institutional debt, set for life, you know, and it took him 2 to 4 years. And all he does is lend money now, set for life, $3 million crib, living a dream, man. And it literally, market fell. Because here's what happens when markets fall, guys.
I'm gonna try to call that guy back and see if I can get him at 110. No, keep going though.
Well, what happens when markets fall is that ultimately, right, people then become frantic. Sellers just aren't frantic yet. In the next couple of months, like within the next 6 to 12 months, and sooner than later, right, people are going to become frantic. And frantic means when other people are trying to sell.
I say, I cannot help you.
Oh, well, no,
I mean,
look.
I like to do something with you, but I mean, it has to be at my price.
Yeah, and look, what I wanted to do was speak with my partner. I was actually able to, he's just right down the way, and I was able to give him a shout to see if we can come up. I definitely can come up to 110. I think you're right at 120, so we're within shouting distance. I mean,
No, the house works like 180. So if it was a
180 move-in ready.
It's come to sell the house over here.
So if it's worth 180 move-in ready.
I don't say it's worth that. It sells. That's what I said. If it is in perfect conditions, you know.
Right, but I think we got to get it to that point, right? We would have to purchase it, close on it, pay agents commissions, holding costs, financing charges, and then do the work, right? To make that work. So just trying to get to a number that I know that we can do all we need to do on the back end to make money.
Yeah, I know that. I understand that. I didn't that business, so maybe I'm not as good as you guys are, but I understand a little bit.
So, and I didn't even mention this, but we do, you know, in this market, we'll pay all the closing costs, no commissions. If we're able to get you an offer like that on your timeline, like when you're, you know, even that's with the tenant in place, closing your timeline, close quickly. If you want, what's the best price you could consider for an offer like that?
120.
That's the best you can do.
Yeah. That's what I say when you ask me if I can help you. Sorry, I cannot help you.
Do you have any photos that'll just? Do you have any
sorry?
photos of the property recently that'll kind of give me a better sense of like?
No.
But you say it's in good condition, but it needs a roof, it needs HVAC. You know, maybe flooring, stuff like that. Right?
I don't say it doesn't. And I said that it doesn't, so that's what is that price. I mean, if it not works for you, I used to buy.
Yeah, that was a little rude. I'm trying to see if I can make something work.
You know?
Yeah, I don't want to waste your time. I mean, I completely feel
I
you
don't
on
either.
that.
I don't, you know?
Let me do this. My agent, she can tell me exactly like what we would need to do to get the property market ready. The other thing
Yeah,
that I was
because
looking at,
I think let me say something. Maybe you work different. Not everybody works differently, and I'm okay with that. But for me to be able to, if I want to buy something, I have to come in and look at it personally.
mm-hmm,
Because by seeing pictures, talking to somebody, nobody tells you the truth.
yeah,
You go on personal and see the property, you like it, you think you can make it money, I buy it.
right. And so look, since I can't be every place at every time, like I'll work through my agent who's done
I know,
multiple
but that's
for us.
wasting your time, wasting my time.
Right. Right. Pictures just give me a better feel for like what we're looking at. Like if we're even in the right ballpark. That's the only
Yeah,
reason I
because like
asked.
I cannot tell you that many things because I haven't been there and that's maybe what 10 months. So if you ask me something I don't even know.
Got it. Well, let me do this.
You know?
I mean, I want to talk to my agent in the area and see if I can get to that number that you need to be at the 120 mark. If so, and I can move forward. Do you have an email address that I can send you the offer?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna give it to you until you agree to what we're talking about.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah, we'll
All
see if
right,
we can put
thanks for
something
your time.
together.
I'm busy, man.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, thanks.
Later.
Some of these sellers, man, it's giving me flashbacks. Shout out to Shannon Austin in the chat. You fam doesn't know this, Brandon. You don't know this. One of my very first jobs, my first job was at Burger King. All right. My second job was working at a stand in the middle of the mall. Okay. Selling shoe cleaner. And so what I would do sometimes on my break, Brandon, I know you did the same thing. What I would do on my break, sometimes I would walk through the mall. This is back when the mall was like a vibe.
Yeah. Right.
They had like all the jewelry stands and stuff. So I would go to the jewelry stand, get my sterling silver vibes going, or whatever I had going on at the
I was
moment.
definitely on that.
Right. Whatever I had going, my cubic zirconia vibe, whatever I had going on. Right.
Mm.
And I remember when I would go to some of the stands in the mall, in the middle of the mall ones, right? The ones that was in the middle, right? And I go to some of those jewelry ones and I'd be talking to the person at the jewelry. And I was, because I worked there. So I would do this walk every day. And I would try to negotiate with some of these guys and they would just hard bargain. And I'm like, you've been having that piece of jewelry sit in the same case for 6 months. And I'm trying to, it ain't even real.
Right.
That's how this guy just sounded, man. It just flashed me back, man.
Bro, and I don't even know. I know you had fell off for a bit.
I was wondering if that's the same guy.
Yeah, just to keep him on the phone. He claimed that he didn't want to sell, he didn't have no interest, but I see all the notes. Like he had a full-on conversation with whoever it was he talked to first. Let me see who he spoke to first. And so to keep him on the phone, I had to bring up the 1031 exchange that he wanted to do and this and that. And he's like, oh yeah, I am selling.
That's crazy.
I mean, he didn't actually even say that he was selling. He was like, oh, okay, like we can talk. I think this is Steven Hazel. Shout out to Steven, man. Continue to send those leads over. This guy could be a seller. Maybe it may make sense. My feeling that it needs to be lower, but in that particular area, like right around that pocket, it does look like there have been a lot of renovations that have sold 225 ish. So if it's solid, maybe it could work, but we'll see. I'm gonna speak to my person that's local to the area.
Yo, no doubt, man. Just trying to get the Jesus piece, man. That's the one I was Shannon. No, man, he was there. That's the one I was trying to negotiate, man. I just wanted the Jesus piece, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man. All right, let me see what I get on this seller. I'm calling one in Bolivia. I didn't know they had a Bolivia in North Carolina.
Oh, that's in North Carolina?
Yeah.
reached the gun residence. You reached the gun residence.
Let's try it one more time.
You reached the gun residence.
All right, let me pull up another one. Hold on.
Somebody say, yeah, that's the sticks. What's up, Malik?
Bolivia is?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it, man. But it's Lex said there's comps out there. She said there's comps out there, so we'll see. We'll circle back up to that one. Let me hold on. My computer's moving slow.
So the one that I spoke to just now, Chris, that is one that I will put in qualified follow up, and it's kind of qualified, but I'm still trying to see if it's something that actually move forward.
Yeah, and you said it was
so
he
I would move it over.
You said it was worth 180.
He said it was worth 180. I'm seeing full flips at 225. On up 215, 220, 225, 225. 218, 205, 227, 210. So, I mean, he wants 120. Maybe it can work. The only issue with that one was all the ones that I saw flip like that were originally purchased for like 50K, which is kind of weird. It's just like y'all got some hell of a deals. But
all right, I'm gonna see if I can get this next seller. Just put up a different one.
appreciate it, Shannon.
Your call has been forwarded to. Your call has been forwarded.
Another no answer, man. We gotta get a live call up. Let's see what we get. Let me try.
Nephew call back. See if you can pull that one up.
All right, hold on. All right, let's see. Which one is this?
Search Neffie, Neffie. Nationwide.
All right, hold on. All right, Neffy. You said she just called?
Yeah.
All right, I'm about to call her. Just waiting for the contact record to load up. Why is this moving so slow? My bad, man. I'm trying to get this thing going.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up the next one where you're doing that.
All right, let's see. All right, so this is in Memphis. Let's see. Asking price is 150. What information do we have? All right, so they say I can only speak if you are offering 150. All right, I spoke with this person before.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Let's see what they say. All right, I mean, my notes last time: the seller isn't serious about selling. Is looking for a retail offer.
Lex says she's asking 100K now.
Well, how about that?
So she must have came back around.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
This call may be recorded for training purposes. This call may be recorded for training purposes. Hello?
Yeah. Hey, Miss Gatewood.
Yeah. Hey, Brendan. How are you?
Oh, this is Chris. This time we spoke a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
How are you?
Okay. I'm well. And yourself?
I'm doing well. I appreciate you asking. I know you and I had spoke a couple weeks ago, and I know you were trying to figure stuff out with the house. Where you kind of, I guess, with things now?
I'm selling. My price is 100.
Okay. All right. So looking to be around 100 now. I think that's much more workable for where we kind of needed to be at. Let me just pull, I guess, some information up. 1 second here. I'm pulling up a couple of different things. And if you could, Miss Gateway, just remind me, what were the major items that needed to kind of be done in the property, and is it vacant currently?
The kitchen needs to be rehabbed. The countertop, the cabinet, they're in bad condition. I'm in the process now of repainting the entire house.
Okay.
So that won't be something that you would need to do. And I replaced the floors already, so the floors are good.
Got it. Okay.
And I was going to change the lock because I just got a tenant out. And whenever I get a tenant out, I would like to change the lock just to be on the safe side.
No, I get it. I think when we had talked, you were telling me, if I remember correct, you had bought like a couple different properties at one point around the area, right?
That's correct.
Cool. And this is one you'd rather get off your plate than I guess keep it and put another tenant in it.
Right, get off my plate because we're getting ready to go down another avenue for business.
Understood. Understood. Yeah, the trust me, I get it. The market's starting to get, a little wonky, at the moment.
Right. So my husband and I are exploring a different business strategy right now,
Oh, like in real estate, you mean, or something else?
altogether something else.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And so that money is going to pretty much be my seed money
Got it.
for the new business. So that's why uh, I had flexibility, but I got to walk away with 100 in my pocket.
To do what you need to do for the
Right.
other opportunity, and you're looking to kind of fully cash out, right? You're not looking to do like any sort of creative financing or anything like that, if I remember right.
You are correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think we're in the ballpark. I'm a little bit lower than you, so I'm trying to see while I'm talking to you. I'm kind of just trying to pull some information up to see what I could do to maybe get to where you're at and make something work. Um, if you don't get the 100, are you kind of just gonna wait it out, or what's the plan?
If I don't get the 100 from you, I've already talked to a couple of real estate agents. They told me if I go ahead and put the kitchen in, I could probably be able to put it on the market for around 125, 135.
Oh, okay,
And then I can just sell it. And with the commission that they get, I'll be able to walk away with a little bit more than 100.
gotcha. Okay, yeah, I mean, there's a property nearby that sold kind of mid 100s. That's kind of similar. With yeah, with some work. So I hear you on that. Obviously, I'm an investor too, right? I want to be able to try to get in the deal and create some margin for myself, so that we can kind of get a return on our end, on it also. Yeah. Yeah. How quick do you need to close on it if we're able to do the 100?
I'm flexible.
All right. Reason I ask is, we do have, and I don't think we've talked about this, but we do have a way that we are able to increase our offer, but it is a delayed closing to get you the higher number. And how that kind of works is we would come in and do the repairs while the property is still titled to you. We'd take over, the cost of the repairs. Obviously, you're not having to spend any money to do some of the stuff that you're even kind of doing right now. We would come in and take over, any of that effort, and would take on the closing costs, real estate commissions, kind of the whole nine. Anything that we get past the number that you and I agree to up front is our profit to keep and reimburse us for our expenses. You still get the number that we agreed to, initially up front. Is that something you're open to, Ms. Gatewood, to get you closer to where you're looking to be at?
That is something I may be open to, but what does that mean? That means that now you're going to list the property as if you own it.
Yeah. So exactly? So what happens is we'll come in, we'll evaluate the property, make any necessary repairs that we feel like need to be made to essentially get it onto the market and create a profit margin. And so it's like fixing and.
I'm not comfortable with anybody listing any property that I own as if they own it.
Well, we're not listing it as if we own it. No, we're not listing it as if we own it. You're the owner of the property, but you're agreeing to allow us to list the property, but we're not listing it in our name.
No. So are y'all got real estate agents?
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me, I guess, what makes you uncomfortable about it?
Well, if I already have real estate agents, then you could go ahead and do the work on the property. My agent that I already have in hand can go ahead on and list it. And I will agree to what you said.
Okay.
If I get the 100, I'll take the 100, and then anything over 100, I will give to you. And I'm good with that.
All right. So
it's basically the same thing that you said, but we'll be using my real estate agents instead of yours.
I got you. So let me just explain to you how it works for us. and how I would work around what you're proposing, and we can just talk about it from there. How about that? Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know how we do a lot of business, right? I don't know what your relationship is with your realtor, how you compensate them, what that looks like. And I'm just being very transparent with you, by the way, because you're in the business. So I'm sure you understand what I'm saying here. In order for us to create margin, one of the things that we don't do is pay realtors. All right. So we don't pay realtors to list properties for us, right? Because that's essentially 3% that could go to the profit. So it doesn't make sense for us to pay a realtor to stick it up on the MLS. We do all of our own showings. We do all of our own contract management. We do all of that in-house. Okay. What we do is, if I'm sure you've heard of like flat fee listings before. So we pay $350. We have a realtor, local realtor, right? Puts the property up on the market for us. And then we kind of manage it from there. But all they're literally doing is just listing it and entering it into the MLS. They're not facilitating the showings. Go ahead.
And you're paying them this $350 for that, right?
Yeah, I'm just paying them $350. Correct. Right. Now, when we sell the property, we do pay commissions to the agent who brings the buyer. Right. But we don't pay to list it. So it doesn't matter to me, just to be very blunt, it doesn't matter to me at all who lists the property, because all I need somebody to do is place it in the MLS. But I don't want to pay 3% just to have your realtor stick on the MLS. Now, if you're like, hey, Chris, my realtor will do it for the $350 or $375 or even $400, I don't have any problem with that. Don't see it as a problem. Don't see it as a deal killer. Because that doesn't matter to me as long as we get it into the MLS. Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense, and I'm on board with that too.
Okay.
I think there's something I can put for my realtor to put before her and see if she's okay with that. And if she's okay with that, I say we're good with moving forward.
All right. Yeah. Generally, for some realtors, I know their broker has to kind of okay it. But you can look into that. Again, who the realtor is doesn't matter to us. What does matter to us, right, is obviously we have to do a financial arrangement in terms of the price that allows us some room to try to create a profit for ourselves, right? We only want to do the work, and I'm sure you get this, right, if we can create some sort of profit from it. So there's that component of it. The other component of it, for it to make sense, is we have to be able to have access to the property, right? So, generally what we do is put a contractor box on the property. You have the code, we have the code. Generally if we have to go to the property, we're notifying you and letting you know. And when we do that, because some people have a concern about, maybe they still have stuff in the property or whatever. So people have concerns about, just normal concerns people have, right? Like, well, somebody's going to the property, I'm not there, what's going to happen, and yada, yada, yada. So that's a piece for us that's really important. Who our closing attorney is really important to us as well. What the paperwork on a deal like this looks like is it's really almost the exact same agreement. There's a clause in it that allows us the ability to protect ourselves in the transaction, because what we don't want to do is come in and do something to the property. And not saying that you would do this, right? But then you're like, oh, well, no, I don't want to do the deal with you. And I've already got 5, 10, 15 grand in it. You see what I'm saying?
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me, Ms. Gatewood?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. All right. I don't know where you lost me at. What was the last thing you heard?
To protect ourselves.
Yeah. So like, we don't want to put money in the deal. And then again, I'm not saying you do this, but unfortunately it happens sometimes in the business. And then we got the rug pulled on us, right? And we've now put money into this deal to get it out on the market and get it sold. So you can make what you need to make on it. We can make a return on our investment on it as well. And so to prevent that from happening, there's a clause in the contract that gives us the right to be able to do what we're agreeing to. So again, we're agreeing to a certain number with you. You're agreeing to allow us access to the property to do any necessary repairs to it, any necessary improvements. Maybe when we go to sell it, the buyer has a request for, whatever knick-knack repair. I'm sure you're familiar with that. We take all of that on. We take on the cost to list the property, that flat fee the cost to sell it, which is the buyer agent commission, and then the closing cost to then get it closed from there, right? So using your number of 100, and I'm going to look and see if, can I make that number workable in the structure? So just using it as a placeholder at the moment, right? Using your number of 100, say I'm able to go sell it for 130, right? Then my, gross, right? Obviously I've got cost to make that 30K, but that 30K would essentially be my profit to keep and reimburse myself on my expenses as well. Is that something you're saying you are comfortable with and understand, or kind of?
I am comfortable, and I do understand. I will need to read that contract because I want to know, for example, if we agree to audit and the property only sells for, let's say, right at 100 or 97 or 98, then am I still going to get mine? And does your contract say that I have to give you back what you put in?
No, that's my point, right? That's my risk in the deal, right? But that's also why the upfront number is really important. You see what I mean? Yeah, you're in the business. I know that you're aware, right? Obviously, the market's changing right now. Administration is extremely volatile at the moment. There's like a lot of uncertainty that exists right now, right? People don't know what the market is going to look like 6 to 12 months from now. And so we're in the business of moving quickly, not slowly, right? In our world right now, and I'm sure in your world too, right now, the world we exist in is not what it's been for the past 15 years. Right now, every day, the property loses money. And not just because it's vacant, but because the value itself is going down, right? And that doesn't mean it's going down rapidly yet. We just don't know what will happen that will create a switch to make it rapid. And so we have to obviously protect ourselves against that. So then we have to figure out a number with you that helps you with your goals, which is you've got this new opportunity. You need to fund that business, and we want to do win-win deals with people. We're not trying to come in and like hit a home run on every single deal. We do a lot of deals and we work on volume. So we're trying to create profit margins so that obviously we can run our business as well. So that's why that upfront number is so important. And that's why I'm saying I want to look into it just a little bit, because I don't want to commit to something I can't honor for you. And so I want to make sure if I say, hey, I'll do 100, or if I say, whatever that number is, it's a number that I'm locked in at. And that's the number I have to pay you. And so we go do the deal to your question, and it only sells at 100. I'm having to eat that out of pocket. And I'm not in business to lose money. I'm sure you're not in business to lose money. So I'm only doing deals where I see that there's a margin available for me to consume and create a profit from,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're open to it, maybe what would be easiest is let me look into the number. I want to make sure I'm giving you a number that, again, we can 1,000% commit to. And I'm not saying that's not 100. I just don't know if it is or not. It's just comes down to property value, and we have to make sure that we have a spread, obviously in it to account for the cost, potential unforeseen things that could pop up, profit. You kind of get what I'm saying there. So I can look at that, but then I can also go ahead and send you what the contract looks like if you'd like to do that. And if I have the number figured out when I send it to you, I'll put the number on there, or I can call you back. But that way you can look at the paperwork. It's not like it's not as fancy as it sounds, by the way, Ms. Gatewood, so I want you to kind of look at it. I want to answer any questions you got if you need me to. And look, I want you to ultimately feel comfortable with the deal. I don't want to do the deal if you're not comfortable, right? Because then that just causes problems and complications later, and it wouldn't even be enough money on the deal for me to deal with any headaches. And I don't think you want to deal with any headaches either. I know you want to get to kind of this new business you're focusing on. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. If we're kind of in alignment on that and kind of seeing things the same way, we can explore it in that direction. Because I think the cash number would just be, it doesn't sound like my cash number, which I can give you and close in 30 days. I don't think it's going to make you happy.
Okay.
All right. You want to do that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with what we just talked about.
All right. Do you want to text me your email? Would that be workable?
Yes, I can do that.
All right. Text me your email. Give me a little bit. All right. I'll look at the numbers. I'll get a draft agreement over to you again, just for you to look at, ask whatever questions you got, whatever. And it sounds like the big important piece. I think you'll be perfectly fine with the paperwork. By the way, I don't think there's nothing difficult there. I think the big piece is just really the number. I think I hear you pretty loud and clear, right? That you need to be at the 100, and I just want to shoot it straight with you and let you know if I can make that work or not. So I don't want you to feel like it's a pressure sale or anything like that, because it's not. We got plenty of properties to buy, but we're looking for
You
good.
don't have to worry about all that. I don't press it easy.
All right, good. I just don't want you to feel like that.
Telling anybody no.
All right, good. Well, that's what they told me. You was tough, Ms. Gatewood. They said you were tough.
Yeah, I don't. I'm a girl, a lady in the world that is mostly monopolized by men.
Hey, trust me, I get
I
that.
had to be able to hold my own from the very beginning.
No, I got a lot of respect for that. Look, I actually have a group that I help teach people how to get started investing in real estate. We've got a women's group in our group. So I hear you on that loud and clear. My first business partner 16 years ago was a woman. And if I would be transparent, she would say that to me all the time. All right. When I first got into business, and I didn't get it. Being truthful, I didn't understand what she was trying to say until I started paying attention over time. And the truth is, it was way harder for her than it was for me. And I'm saying that as a black guy in business, I've got my own barriers to push through. But women got it, unfortunately, way worse. So that's not lost on me either. And I can respect the toughness, because if you're in business and you're not tough, you're not going to last too long.
Yeah, it does good in business. It does not do good in relationships.
Hey, Ms. Gatewood, trust me. All right. Trust me when I tell you, I know. Okay. Trust me when I tell you, I know. If I could find out, Ms. Gatewood, how to translate business communication to personal relationships, I'd have a lot going on. But that business I got figured out, that I'm still trying to catch up on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. No doubt.
I do.
All right, good deal.
I'll text you my information, and then we'll get back with each other.
All right, sounds good. I'll hit you up here in a little bit. We'll connect, and we'll see what we can do from there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Bye. Yeah. Shout out to Ms. Gatewood, man. Shout out to Ms. Gatewood. Just had to let her catch one of them charge the vibes, man. I think that one is a good potential novation. There's a comp at 157. She's saying she could do 100. I don't know what the inside of this looks like. That really is kind of the, what does the inside look like is really going to drive if it's a deal or not. I don't think she's going to be negotiable at the 100. She's already came down $50K. So to catch her on another price adjustment right away is probably going to be a little tough. So she's not a taker. She's open to the deal structure. So I think that we could have something on the hook here. I think this is Marie. Marie, is this your first potential deal? I think, if I'm not mistaken. I know you're pretty new to the group, but I think this could have a lot of potential. Really, the tail of the tape is just going to be, what does the interior look like, and can we make that workable or not? So I'm going to text her back, ask her for some photos of the property so that, I'll give you guys a quick hack too, by the way. I don't know if anybody else is doing this yet. This works so well. You can literally take pictures that sellers give you, and you can put it in the ChatGPT, and you can prompt ChatGPT to call out and point out to you what potential repairs the property might need, what's going on with it, etc. So if you don't have a lot of construction experience, or you're not able to really look at pictures and like develop an idea of what's happening, I've been telling y'all, man, make sure you're using AI. So we'll see what happens with that. Marie, good lead. That's one that we've been following up with for 2 weeks. And yeah, looks like her energy is down, and it seems like she is willing to play a little ball now. So we'll see. Let's see if Brandon can unmute. We'll see what Brandon's got going on.
Cool. Okay. So 1,400 square feet, and I'm looking at some of the other ones that sold nearby here in Tampa, just to get a feel for where we need to be. What I didn't see in the notes from AJ was how much you wanted to be able to sell this for.
Well, if I'm selling to an investor, that's your call. I mean, if I sell it myself retail, I'm probably going to be in the 330 range.
Oof. Okay.
So
the reason I ask is
you're going to see some comps that are actually townhomes. They're on the same street, but it's across the road. When they built the townhome community, they extended Limerick Drive.
yeah.
And so those are bad comps.
Well, you
You won't find many comps in my neighborhood.
You actually have
you're
one.
have to go back.
You got one right up the
year
street.
And a half.
You got one right up the street at 4714.
What was that?
So no, I'm sorry, it's active. So it's not truly a comp. It's active at 340. But it's move-in ready. Looks like they did some updates, still carpet throughout. The bedrooms hardwood or at least LVP, but they have it cleaned up and ready to go. So this one's active at 340, and it looks like they probably just kept shape and then put it out there on the market. So trying to get a feel for something that's sold in your area as is in good shape, because I know that's what we're talking about with yours.
Yeah.
Gives me a feel, if I had to guess, just based on all my experience, as is, they're probably a little closer in the 200K range, maybe mid, maybe high. But that's kind of where I could see this being coming in and as is, if it hasn't had the updates, right? So it's solid, good shape, clean, ready to go. But hasn't been updated and 2025 ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Actually, you just do flips?
No, we look for rentals for long term, short term.
Okay, because I think the highest and best use for this property is a rental, because you wouldn't have to do anything to it. I mean, some minor stuff, but people come in and they redo the cabinets and all this other stuff, and they spend tens of thousands of dollars to get this sweet spot in the buyer's market. And in my opinion, that's not the fastest way to to the goal, if you will.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this thing is a perfect rental, because you're looking at least in the current market, which is trending down, but probably around $2,250 a month.
Right. And that's the issue.
And honestly, pardon?
That's the issue. If we're looking for a 10%, cash on cash return, we would want to be all in at 225,000 on that project. We will, just to make sure that when we buy it, clean it out, get it ready for rental, we're at least pulling in like a 10%. Sometimes we can fluctuate on that, but right around that 10%, or we call it the 1% rule. If we're getting 2,250 in rent, we're probably going to want to be around 220,000 on the project. So still at that,
that's not going to happen.
right. At that 300 number, we would need to be able to rent out for like 3,000 a month, right? That's just kind of how we look at it, and from the rental perspective, I actually do see a good comp, but it's also kind of pointing me in that same direction. One up to the east of you just sold for 212, and then was resold on the market for 358. So that's kind of giving me a sense of the as is value in the area.
Yeah, well, that if it's to the east of us, that's a subdivision that's probably 20 plus years older. Those are houses that they were smaller, they're 1-car garages, and most of those, not most, but a lot of them were converted to get square footage, so they had no garage. They're just, they're the older type of houses. They don't have vaulted ceilings and so forth and so on. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, you know what you're talking about.
And look, maybe the number could be a little bit above that, but like there's another one on Presidential that sold in June for 220 and then resold for 375. So I know that was a full renovation. If your house is valued,
I walk through that neighborhood all the time, and it's the 1990s homes versus the 1970s homes.
Got it.
That's what we got. And but I gotta say, their lots are bigger. Their lots are larger than these. So it depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah. Had you ever considered like a 1031 exchange?
No, I don't need to, because it's not a rental.
True that.
If it was a rental, I would definitely consider a 1031 exchange.
I guess I just say that because you want to find some place to purchase, almost prior to moving in or to leaving this property. So just wanted to kind of.
I want to find something to purchase before leaving this property for sure, and I can, I have the wherewithal to do that, without having to get the cash for this property. Now, when it comes time to build, that's another story. But I'm about to the point where. I kind of waited too long. I did and I didn't, because when you have one property to work with, you're going to sell high and buy high, or as it's going to start to come down, you hope to get the most you can, and then buy it as best as you can. But I'm at the point where if I can't get at least in the high twos, the very high twos, I'm just going to rent it. I mean, it's free and clear. So your 10% is my, whatever, 30%, whatever.
Right.
Depends on what the taxes and insurance are. So,
that makes sense. So let me do this. I'll dig in a little further into some of the comps to see what's the best that we can do, but it doesn't look like we'll be a good fit. I don't think that there are going to be many investors that are going to be able to make it work to get you close to 300K where you want to be when there's just a lot of as is that's in the low 200s.
I hear you. I had 2 offers. I had actually 3. I had one at 289, one at 295, and one at 305. But every one of those was like a little over 7 months ago. So, and I was not at the point where, I am now, where I'm actively looking. It was just, I knew that I wanted to move, especially because we were waiting for my mother-in-law to tell us, do we need to move to St. Pete, or can we do what we want to do, which is, get some land and get farther away from all the traffic and a little bit off the grid. And she said, no, go ahead. So that's when I made the firm decision to go. And those offers all took place right before that.
Yeah. Look, I mean, family's the most important thing. So, I would be in your same position and holding out to see what I needed to do for my family first before even, going down this path. So I completely understand. I think that it would be a great rental for you, and you'd probably get a hell of a return, and moving, if you know that this is something that you're going to do and you'd like a referral, one of my good friends and colleagues lives in that Tampa area, and I could find a great referral for you. He's like a 5-star real estate investor, if you will. And he works with a handful of agents in that market. So if anything, I'd love to, connect you with them and see if you guys can source that land and get you kind of on your way.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if he has access to, off-market distressed scenarios, I'll definitely talk to him. I don't know, how he works from a commission standpoint, especially since this NAR suit has taken place. That's why I haven't really contacted any agents on the buy side. I mean, I'd be all over it before that, but I don't know what they're doing as far as the workaround goes.
And you mean as far as finding the next place or selling this one?
No, are you familiar with the National Association of Realtors lawsuit that took place with respect to real estate commissions?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Okay. So, it used to be if you were a buyer, you could talk to as many realtors as you want till somebody found something you were looking for, and the seller was going to pay their commission via the split.
Right.
Now it's not the case. So I'm kind of, if you go talk to somebody, you're going to have to commit to them as pretty much a buyer's agent.
Got it.
And then you're married to them. And I'm just not into it.
No, that makes sense. Well, yeah, this guy's like I said, he's an investor. He's flexible, so I'm sure that we can help find the right situation for you. And I'll also reach out to see, if there is any property or inventory that I'm aware of that could fit what you're looking for around the 2 acres, kind of in that midpoint to Lakeland.
Okay.
And I'll be in touch.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're welcome. All the best.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
All right, what do you think about that call, man?
It was definitely a seller, and I think he had some experience. So
yeah, for sure.
One of those situations where you kind of identify pretty early on, like if it's gonna work or not. And he's at that point where he knows that he needs to sell at a price that's gonna be above what he could get as is. But at least he's understanding that he would need to just take care of it himself and list it, like he said, or turn it into a rental himself. But that could be a referral because he's looking to buy before he moves. So I was thinking about Matt. Matt's super busy, but if he has an agent referral in the area, I'll connect him with that agent.
Got it. Okay. All right. Well, let's keep rolling, man. I got one up that I'm getting ready to hit dial on. Let's see. I don't know if this person's going to pick up or not, but let's see if we can get him on the phone.
Okay.
you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
Dang. Yo, Brandon, man, I don't know about you, but you ever had your phone cut off, man?
Yeah, I definitely remember them days.
Man, I was just every time I hear that automated message, it just flashed me back to somebody. You know,
Yeah, I was the one though that like I was headed to AT&T as soon as I always had it, but I just tried to test my luck, be like, oh, they ain't
same,
gonna cut
bro,
that shit off.
same,
I'll be right in the car.
same.
Like,
I'm like,
what?
nah, they gotta turn me off for me to pay the
Yeah.
bill, bro. They gotta turn me off, man. See,
I
because then
ain't
when they would
going.
turn it off, that's when you got to make that immediate payment.
Yes.
Because then
Take
somebody
both
would call
bills.
you. Somebody would call, yeah, because it'd be the back to back. Somebody would call you and they'd be like, "Yo, I just tried to call you. Got this crazy message." I'm like, "What? When you call me?" I'm
My
like,
phone acting crazy, man.
you know, them iMessages still come through.
Right.
The iMessages still come. I'm like, hold on, you try to call me? Like, man, it's a tech issue, man. Let me see what's going on with AT&T, man.
You already know.
Let me
You
see what's
already
going
know.
on. I don't know if anybody in the chat know what I'm talking about, man. It can't just be us, man. Can't just be us.
They know.
All right? Can't
They
just be
know.
us, man. Damn, run out of minutes, man. Now that's taking it back.
Yeah, I know.
Dang, man. These kids will never know, man.
Right.
These kids, you had to manage your minutes every month. And I had to catch. Look, Brandon, you know the vibes, man.
Yeah.
Baby, we got to catch up after 9:00. All right, let's catch up when they go unlimited.
Right.
But then that's the thing. Now you had to really manage your time because you only got
so much to put that work in.
You only got so much unlimited time for mama saying it's time to go to sleep.
Right.
It's time to go to sleep, man. It's time to go to sleep.
Exactly.
Y'all might not know about that in the chat, man.
Look, I might have to do that for my son's first one. I'm tripping. He already got an iPhone. These kids they won't know it.
Man,
that was the first phone you got, right? Like it was the minutes phone from your mom's, right? In middle school.
That's all you had, man. That's all you had.
It's got iPhones and everything else in their pocket.
Man. Yeah, it's crazy how technology is moving. I'm gonna try this guy, Daniel. I don't know what his last name is, but I don't think you called him yet. Let me see.
Yeah, the only one I called, I moved to call no answer. David, I think. He's looking to buy 2 acres due east property or something.
I see somebody in the chat. Let's shout out to the Deborah Williams, man. Her question is, if this will come up, let's see. Is what's the difference between the U and sub 2? Been watching these live and want to join the U, but they say on E, I don't know what that is, that it's in thousands of dollars more for the software and business. Miss Williams, I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but this is what I say. One, thanks for checking out Closing Conversations. All right, it's much appreciated. We appreciate you being here. What's the difference? I mean, come on, Miss Williams. All right, chat. Y'all let Miss Williams know what the difference is. I don't know what the differences are. I've never been in sub 2. Pace is a personal friend of mine. Really, really great guy.
Shout out to Pace.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Pace. I think you should just do whatever's best for you. You know, whatever you feel like is best for you, whatever your gut instinct tells you, I think that's what you should do. Might be here, might not be here. Just know we ain't going nowhere though. Okay. So do what's best for you. If you want to tap in with us. Go to chargedupreviews.com. All right. If you want to check it out, go to chargedupreviews.com. I'll put the link or the website in the comments. Go check it out. You can see what we got going on. If you want to catch a vibe with the U fam, be a part of the family, come tap in with us. All right. Come tap in with us. All right. Let's keep rolling. Let me see if I can get this next seller. And let's see what we got. Whose lead is this? All right, this is Big Paul. It's a lead from Big Paul, Cape Coral. Let's see what we got going on.
Telephone number 6.
No days. Let's see.
Telephone number 678.
Man, can we get a pickup? What are we doing? Let's get a pickup. Try to text him.
All right, let me go on to the next one. What was that last name?
Daniel O.
Okay. Got a Houston lead. Chicago lead. This must be lose.
Shout out to the Shy, man. Shout out to the Shy. Why is it so expensive to close a deal in Chicago, man?
Oh, $5,000 on an $80,000 deal is wild.
Yeah, it's insane. Completely insane.
Crazy.
All right, let's see what's going on there. And people said you couldn't wholesale in Chicago. Isn't that crazy?
I know,
Let's see what's going on. Deborah Williams, my gut says that you will check into a further tap in with the fam. All right, hit me up on Facebook or IG. Actually, go to askchrisjefferson.com. Askchrisjefferson.com and lock in with us, man. Looking forward to seeing you in the fam. All right. Let me see what I can find in here. What about Darlene? Have you called that one?
I was about to hit Myra.
All right. I'm gonna try Darlene while you're doing that.
Okay. We got a few properties here. Let me see if we can pull it up. This isn't coming up. Try this other one.
Hello?
Hey, Darlene, this is Chris. I was calling you on Russell Field. We had been speaking, or you've been speaking with somebody in my office by text about it, and was giving you a call.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. They had mentioned that you had sent like a flyer about the property, but I'm not able to see it at the moment. Are you wholesaling it, or what's going on?
Yes, it is. I am wholesaling it. Yeah, looking for an end buyer. We need to close soon, ASAP.
All right. Are you you direct on the contract?
No, my partner is. I have a partner, Clarence, and his company Pinnacle Investments. He holds the
contract on it. Got it. All right. And what are you guys trying to get on it?
Well, we had originally 280 on it, but then we brought it down to 270 because we wanted a quick sell. So 270 is what we're starting on. We're firm on that.
Got it. And you guys got it pinned on off the MLS, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Have you gotten any buyer feedback so far? I mean, we wholesale as well,
Yeah,
so
we have tons. We have tons of inquiries. We actually have someone that if you do get it, and it's like a quick flip in this instead. There's only cosmetic, items that need to be done, like maybe a paint job. And upstairs, the flooring, there's a carpet that might need to be changed out. There's like some trash in the garage. I think I sent you an appraisal, did I not?
they may not have they may not have sent it over to me where I could what I could see it.
We recently had an appraisal done on it in January, and it appraised for over 340, and we have someone, homestead buyer that might be interested in getting it. So, it's a really good deal. We did the comps. We ran the comps. The comps were about, I think it was at about 380. For the comps, we have 3 comps that we sent over. It's on the flyer, and you can check it out. And it's a great deal.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna poke around on it now and kind of see what I can see, and I'll circle up to you, and I can certainly let you know. What made you get into wholesaling? I'm curious.
Well, I do different things. I don't just do wholesaling. Like we, buy and flip. We buy and hold. My partner has been in this business for over 30 years. So he was a broker before, and so he has a lot of deals, a lot of property. So
yeah. No, that's great.
I'm not as seasoned as him, but he has a lot of experience in it. So he's kind of teaching me the ropes. But
no, good stuff.
We have a lot of deals. Yeah, he has a lot of property tools. So.
That he's looking to get sold.
Are you looking just in the Houston area?
No, I mean we're nationwide, but I mean we do a lot of wholesaling as well. That's why I was asking you.
Oh.
Yeah, we do a lot of wholesaling also, and we do a good bit of wholesaling down in Houston. And I run a community teaching people how to get started wholesaling as well. So it's just was just curious.
So you're looking for wholesaling, you're not looking to buy?
It depends. We buy and fix and flip and rent. We wholesale. More so just depends on the numbers, right? What does the number look like?
Yeah.
And that kind of for me drives, what maybe the deal opportunity is. I saw it was pending on MLS, so I wasn't sure if it was still available or not. But
it's available.
Got you.
Available. He has it pending because it's actually pending.
Sure.
He's trying to sell it. Yeah.
Right, and you're looking to be at like I said, the 280. You said, correct?
No, we dropped it down to 270. We had it at 280, but we dropped it down to 270 because we want someone that's motivated and that wants to get it. So we originally were going to sell it for 280, but we dropped it to 270 real quick. So.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'll look into it and I'll circle up with you, shoot you a message maybe if it's something that could be potentially workable for us. And just wanted to confirm before I spent some time looking into it that that was available, not listed. So let me do that, and I'll circle back to you and kind of see if it's something we can do. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you. All right. Bye.
All right. Okay. Bye.
All right. Shout out to Darlene. She should do an interview for sure. Yeah. I mean, another wholesaler, not necessarily a deal. Properties listed and under contract. So let's keep rolling. I don't know if Brandon can hear me and wants to unmute or not.
I think that you're asking a reasonable-ish price range. But from what I see, I'll probably be coming up a little under where you're asking for this first one. I'm looking right now at Essex first. And just based on actually, let me go back to the notes. I think I saw that you said that there was a rehab budget of $40K each. If you were to keep them, what did you feel like that?
That's high. I wouldn't spend more than about 30 on the whole building. We just did floors. Only thing I would do would put a kitchen floor down on the second floor bathroom and probably rehab the garden apartment and maybe do something to the roof. But not 40 each. I wouldn't spend more than 40 on the whole building. I don't know where she got that from.
Okay, got it. And that's just to keep it as a rental, kind of rental grade appliances, right, all that good stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it individually metered?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Furnaces too. Individual furnaces and meters. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So they pay all their utilities.
Okay. And how much were you getting for rent? Do you remember on
$1,600. Plus they pay their own heat, for each unit.
Okay. For each unit. And then on the other 2-unit one,
$1,600. Yeah.
$1,600 on that one as well.
Yeah, that's a 3-bedroom as well.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So doing some quick math.
Is there what?
No, I was doing some quick math. Yeah, I think you have a reasonable price. On this first one, I'd probably be trying to be as close to 300 as possible. On East 70th, on East 76th, I might can get to 120, 130 there. We were looking at another one. Yours may be in better shape. And so, I might have a little bit of wiggle room. But just kind of based off of that, kind of my initial glance over it, am I even in a ballpark where it makes sense to continue to dive into looking at this?
Sure, sounds good.
Okay.
I think she also gave you my email if you want to set an offer.
Yeah. Let me see in the notes. No, actually, if you can, and since she knows that, I'm familiar with the market, she just reached out to me to see if this is something that I could help out on.
Okay.
So
what do you mean a cultured program? What does that mean?
Yeah. So, what I've been able to do over the years is help others get into the real estate investing space, hosted meetups, do individual one-on-one mentoring and whatnot. So just, after doing this for a while, always looking to help the next person learn and get their opportunity to chase financial freedom as well.
Gotcha. Okay, great.
Yeah. Cool. So let me do this. I'm going to dig in a little deeper on the comps. And then if we wanted to set up some time to come check it out, do you have a project manager or somebody?
Yes, I do. Just give John a call, and his number is 708.
Okay. Last thing, any specific terms, contingencies, anything that I would need to be aware of when putting the offer together?
76. There was a fire next door that blew over to our exterior. So the exterior siding is a little melted, and the fire department knocked a hole in the roof. So those are two things that I want to make you aware of.
Okay. Anything else that I should put in the offer? Is there any specific, like, closing date preferences or, due diligence, earnest money, anything like that?
Yeah, earnest money. If we're gonna take it off the market, I'm looking for a minimum of 1,000,
Okay.
and closing as soon as possible, preferably not more than 30 days.
Okay. All reasonable, all within what I'm open to doing. So let's do this. I will, like I said, I'm gonna reach out to my realtor, Rashana, and I will connect with John as well, and we'll take it from there. I'll keep you in touch.
Thank you very much. Again,
Brandon.
Brandon Bond. My pleasure, Brandon. Look forward to doing business with you.
Thank you. Me too.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye now. Handy Homes.
Yeah, I got a seller just called back in.
Yeah, Daniel.
Yeah, let me get him back up.
So that ended up being from Ruth. So shout out to Ruth for sending that in. That's something that seems solid. We would just have to land that plane. Apparently she's gotten a lot of offers. And when you run across this, when anybody else runs across this, they're actively trying to sell and they're getting other offers and they're feeling like they're getting offers from a bunch of wholesalers. Just make sure that you come correct. There's a few different places, if you don't have the proof of funds yourself, there's a few different places you can get it. And make sure that your offer is strong, and you follow up. You can land that plane and still, if it's something that you are ultimately looking to wholesale, you still can make that shake, handling it the right way. So she said, let's do this 1 or 2 and then we'll look at the other 15. So,
hey, there you go. Whose lead was that?
Ruth.
Hey, Ruth is new. Ruth is new. Shout out to Ruth. I think I've seen her around the group, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all show Ruth some love in the chat. Show Marie some love in the chat from earlier. We got a potential novation stacked up with her. So we got two plays in motion right now. Let's call Daniel O. And let's see what he's got going on and if there's some opportunity potentially there. So let's see. Hello.
Hello, Stan.
Hey, Dan, this is Chris with Nationwide Fast Offers. I was giving you a call earlier. I saw you had just called me back. So I'm pulling up the information on you real quick. But somebody in my office, I guess, had talked to you about a house you're looking at selling, or I think it's a lot actually on 59th Street.
It's a house and a lot.
Okay.
The house is still there. Nobody's torn it down yet.
Gotcha. Okay. You're still looking at selling that one. I think you talked to Paul, correct?
I believe so. Yep.
Okay. He told me you were.
I had multiple properties there in Cape Coral, and
Gotcha.
I finished off a lot of it now. So, I don't know how much somebody wants to just tear it down now, like the floors and the baseboards and the kitchen and everything's there. So I might just long-term rent it. I got a couple other verbals in Cape. So not sure what I'm going to do with it, but it's been open for sale. I got a lot of developers who just want to tear it down. It's a big corner lot, and I want to put, some big houses going in that neighborhood. So I'm just kind of open to whatever, but I'm not in a hurry.
Makes sense. Do you have a preference to keep it or sell it? Are you leaning one way or the other on that? I know you're open to a deal, but sounds like you've already kind of got some interest, but it hasn't made sense for you.
Yeah. No, I've kind of been sticking with my price. I've had somebody come up to 375.
They started in the 300s before that, and yeah, I mean, I'm just not. I won't sell until it's like 400. You know, especially now that I put in almost 20 grand in the last like couple months.
Gotcha.
Just to make it livable. Yeah, I'm living in there too at times when my other houses are rented out. So as soon as a verbo goes on or whatever, especially in the wintertime, like I stay over there, so I kind of had to finish it out as much as I could. So I
Gotcha.
could live there. So yeah, so it is what it is. But yeah, but I'm always open. Let's see what happens with the market and everything. I think things are coming down a little bit. I'm trying to buy a couple right now that, I'm not sure where this is going in Cape Coral here.
Yeah, I mean, it's we're in a little bit of a tailspin, man, at the moment. I don't think anybody knows. Is part of the problem.
It's really good areas. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, it'll long term, it'll be in good shape.
Really good areas that I have a couple houses in really good areas that they've held their value, but they certainly haven't gone up. Other areas of Cape have come down quite a bit. And there's probably 10 houses in every block, right, for sale.
Sure.
So but that is, if you look in the Cape a little bit, or next to the river and off of Coast and all that, where my other two houses are they're holding okay, but I think they're coming down, So to tell you the truth, I'm trying to buy a couple.
No doubt. I mean, yeah, look, the market's definitely, starting to compress a bit. I don't think it's anything, I don't think we're at freak out mode yet, but we're certainly have entered, be conservative and be cautious territory. Things are starting to pull down. Rates are still kind of 6 to 7%. It seems like we're going to be there for a good bit of time. And, we don't know what's going on with the administration and kind of we don't know what it's looking like day to day, really.
I guess you guys can just, keep it in mind. There's a gigantic development going in across the street. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at some of the information on it right now. Yeah, I guess the big question for me, man, is I'm interested in it. I'm really interested in the property. I mean, you kind of know what you got, man. I mean, you're right there by the canal, like you said, the location is phenomenal. I guess the big thing for me is just simply, obviously I'm a builder investor and, I'm in the business, obviously, of turning a profit and making some money. I know it, the property needs some work and I know there's some upside potential in terms of, the side lot as well. But realistically, you sound like a pretty smart guy, knows your stuff. I mean, and an investor also. I mean, is there even any room in the deal for me to come in and create a profit and make some money at the 400?
No, not right now. Maybe, come to me in 6 months, I would definitely just hang on to it. So yeah, I mean, every one of my properties are all paid for and it's not really costing me anything to keep. And I'm able to rent out most of them and stay in some too. So
you doing Airbnb or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Makes sense. Are you interested in this one on 59th? Do you have any interest in holding paper on it and taking payments, or you would only want to cash out on it?
I don't really. I've done the whole thing before, and people crap out at me on the whole. So are you talking? You're going to be the owner, or am I going to be the owner, and they're going to make me payments like a bank, or what are you talking there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about where you're essentially the bank, right? I'd make a payment to you every month, and obviously the note is secured by the property itself, but that allows somebody like myself, right, to come up a bit on the price by kind of eliminating a higher cost of money if I can work out a reasonable rate of interest with you. That makes sense. That way you're collecting mailbox money, not a property you got to worry about putting more money into, that kind of thing. But I'm really interested in the area, and I'm looking for something personally, in the area as well, which is kind of why this one kind of caught my eye a little bit. So that's kind of my thought. I just think the 400K price sounds like you kind of know. It's just for somebody like me is a bit of a tough price. Just because a regular person off the street is willing to buy a house and have no equity in that house when they buy it. Somebody like me is not looking to do a deal like that where the equity is squeezed when I'm in it. But that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, I'm interested in it. I just don't know if it's in your wheelhouse or not to kind of talk through a couple alternative options that could make sense.
Okay. Yeah. I can talk about some of those. And so I've done like 3 or 4 of those in the past.
Oh, okay. All right.
Haven't worked out great after. I mean, they work out great at the beginning, and people don't make payments, right?
Where do you feel like they went? Where do you feel like they went left?
People lost their jobs or whatever, right? Like it's
I got you.
I don't think I want to be a bank anymore. Like I had squatters and COVID in some of my houses.
Hey, don't remind me, man. Don't remind me. That was. I didn't get rent on one house for 2 years, man. Yep. It was COVID was brutal.
I had $1 million house that had a squatter, and I never got rent for like 2.5 years.
Geez.
So yeah, so it was tough, right? Like, and I collected against them as far as the verdict, but I never.
Yeah, judgment's only worth what you could collect on somebody, I got a couple of judgments floating around on some people, man. So trust me, I get it.
I know. I haven't even bothered with them. Like everybody's telling me to send them the collections and all this, and I'm like, I think I'm okay, right? I don't really need to worry about people, So
yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, that's why that just scares me. So it would be more, for sure, the price would have to be solid and up there. And I would have to see, something backing it more than what I had before.
Well, yeah, I don't mind giving you a proof of funds or something like that for sure. Our financial stability is fine. My question would be, on something like that, what kind of rate would you even be open to? I know you're not saying that you 100% want to do it, but I just want to get an idea of what the rate would even be that would be entertainable to you. Because, I'm a numbers guy, so the rate kind of would drive the whole thing to me.
Yeah, no, it would be around 6 right now.
Yeah. All right. Six is not terrible, not high fiveable.
Yeah. So I've had a couple guys approach me with this already.
Gotcha.
And, yeah, it's like 6 months ago, and I was closer to 7, and I can come down to 6. It just matters. Again, all that matters is everything else. It matters what the purchase price is. It matters what you're putting down on it. Like all the fine print, because this time I'm going to do fine print like you don't believe, because I kind of didn't before. Again, this is only a $400,000 property. It's not a big deal, but I got majorly screwed on the $1 million house, and
would not being able to get them out, you mean?
Yeah, I had a squatter there for 2.5 years, and he didn't pay rent or do anything, and the government went against it, even getting me out of there. I couldn't even call the police on him or anything. So I'm just not going to do that unless I see some money down on it too, that it is non-refundable, right? If if something happens where you just can't make payment anymore, right? Like it's going to have to be a pretty good down payment. So that's all I'm saying.
What are you talking?
Got to think about it. It's going to be close to making a major loan with a bank, and even more, right? Like so.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, though, it just makes sense to pull traditional financing for it, right? On my end of the stick, the benefit of doing a seller finance deal for the seller is it gets you a higher price that you're looking for that generally speaking, most people aren't going to be able or wanting to get to you unless the house is livable. And it sounds like you're trying to get it into a livable or a more livable rather condition. But you know the drill, man. People are looking for, you're doing Airbnb, so I know people are looking for bells and whistles. They're looking for, nice kitchens, nice flooring. You kind of get that. Monthly payment wise, if I was to look into doing something like seller financing, I'd probably be like in the 5 to 10% down ballpark. The rate and monthly payment would matter to me. I think 6% is palatable. Um, just some awareness though around your concern. You can do what's called a surrender of possession agreement. I don't know if you've done that before or not. But you can combine a confession of judgment and a surrender of possession at the top of the deal so that if the person defaults, you aren't evicting them. I don't know if it sounds like you might have been doing rent to own or a lease option, but in a seller financing scenario, say I bought this property from you, defaulted on it, you'd have a surrender possession agreement in advance. And then you'd have what's called an accelerated default clause in the contract. So you don't have to go through a full foreclosure proceeding to get the property back. But nonetheless, man, I mean, is 5 to 10% something you're open to? Or are you open to, I'm also open to paying cash, but I don't know that you're flexible on your 400.
Yeah, I'm not really flexible on the 400. So yeah, I'm just not in a hurry right now. So
Yeah, you just don't have any real reason to sell it, sounds like, and it's you're in the property game too, and it sounds like you can make some money from it if you want, and keep doing that. Are you doing Airbnb full time, or you do something else?
I do Airbnb on my other property. That one has been a long-term rental for a while. So it's a different one in Florida, and I have other properties in other states. But it's where, I had to, mainly what happened was the COVID thing, right? So that's where my contracts are pretty good normally, but I couldn't get him out of that house. And it was because of COVID, it was.
The COVID relief. I went through the same thing on some of my stuff, and trust me, man, it was everybody looks at us as the you're renting property, and so people assume you got unlimited amounts of money, and it doesn't matter if you get paid rent or not, and real estate doesn't necessarily work like that.
I don't want to go through that again. But that's why I'm kind of leery of doing all that, and I would just like to sell it outright, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
I like the verbal, that I have, because people come in here for a week or two, and they're out of here, and I don't have to worry about them spotting, and they pay plenty of money, and the whole long-term thing and financing doesn't really excite me anymore. But I've been doing that forever too, and that made both sides, Airbnb. So
no, I get it. Yeah, I mean the returns. I'm not on the Airbnb game. I got a lot of friends that are. Some of them that swear by it. It just always seemed like unpredictable. With the regulations and stuff going on. But it's been around for a long time at this point, so I might have missed the boat. On that a little bit too. So let's do this, man. Why don't go ahead?
Yeah, it's definitely come down. So, like the Airbnb and verbal, like I rarely, unless the market crashes, which I'm hoping it does, in the next 6 to a year.
Yeah.
Like
same.
I hope it comes down. Like I have liquid that I really want it to come down so that I can do more of that, but nobody's even renting verbals down here in Florida, right? Like Like, so it is. It's been interesting. Unless you have really good clients that have been renting year after year,
Yeah.
just come to you independently. They're not paying that extra fee to verbal and all that, right? They're coming to me individually and saying, right? And
Yeah, booking direct. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and that's the only way they can afford it, you know. And you know, you kind of not sure what to do on all that, but yeah, no, it's you know, I would say keep me in mind, you know, and think it through on a price. You know, if you want to do it, you know, put together a package with me, you know, and kind of just throw it out there, right? Like,
yeah. Well, maybe we could do this, man. What I like to do, Daniel, if possible, is if you could. Do you have some interior photos that you could text me by chance?
Not recent. I can get over there. I don't stay there right now. So the guy just put in a new floor.
Okay.
Put in new baseboard. Got a new kitchen. Got a.
He only got HVAC, man.
Get the other bath done.
Come on, bro.
Really, all it really needs is.
Oh, you got to talk about baseboards, man. Stop playing, man.
Really good. So I put in 6-inch baseboards. Really
Gotcha.
High ones. And so it needs some good puttying, you know, and a paint job. Again, it just got painted, but when the baseboard guy came in, he left some gaps here and there, you know.
No, I know what you mean. Why don't you, Daniel, if you could text me your email by chance? And what I could potentially, I guess, maybe send over to you is kind of just like a papered breakdown of kind of two or three options that could be workable, and check them out. Let me know if they make sense to you or not. And if not, all good. You know, I'll catch up with you, you know, maybe in a couple of months and see if anything's shifted, or, you know, it sounds like you're in the game of moving money around too, and taking advantage of opportunity. And something could come up that's a better one, and you want to cash this out and maybe look at it a different way. But I'll get over 2 or 3 options to you, and let's see if we can shake something out or not. Okay.
Sounds great. So what's your name?
Yeah, Chris Jefferson. And if you shoot me a text with your email, I'll shoot you some info over as well.
All right, sounds great, Chris. Hey, thanks so much for your time.
Hey, Daniel, you too, man. I'll look for your text, and we'll connect. All right.
Okay.
All right, man. All right, thanks, bye. Yeah, he's not a deal. But let me say something on that real fast. He's 100% not a deal, because the numbers don't make any sense, and he's going to hold. But he's open to options. What that tells me is somebody like this, right, who's again in the property game, in the moving money around game. There's always a time that hits where you want to free cash up to take advantage of an opportunity somewhere. And this sounds like the property that he's got, that if he needed to free up cash, this would be the one that he would sell. So somebody like this, we can put a couple options in front of him right now. He's not going to take them, but we can build a relationship with him that over time, with some kind of routine follow-up, when he's in that pocket where he's like, you know what, I need to go ahead and sell this one, you know, we can be right there. So we'll see what we can do with that. All right. You got anything else on there?
No, I think we're good. There's one more. I was actually hitting up Henry June for the right address, because it's not pulling up. But yeah, we've cleared the board as of now, from what I see. Yeah, I think we can rock.
All right. All right, let me see. Let me put some notes on this real quick. See if he gets us an email. You say you don't have any more. You do. My bad.
I don't. I don't.
All right, cool. You fam. Hopefully everybody had a good time with us today. All right, we got one potential novation. We got one potential wholesale, I think, on your end, right, Brandon? And then we've also got this one that we'll send an option contract or option letter out to, rather. And you guys are doing the U. We'll do like the 3 option method with this. Put something in front of him, see if he bites on it all. I really don't think that he will, but we'll see what we get. All right, we'll be back on Thursday around 5 p.m. EST. Make sure you got reminders, notifications, all those beautiful things set up, ready to go for when we jump on here and do these live calls. We're literally calling leads for members of the U community that they've been able to put together, whether it's with OfferBolt or whatever other way they're doing it, to create interested sellers. We use artificial intelligence, AI, to have automated conversations with people and then get them on the phone calls like what we're doing right now, present them offers, overcome the objections, and do deals with our community members, man. So shout out to the U fam that's in the building. All right, I seen y'all in the chat today. I seen the lightning bolts. I seen the fire emojis. It's always a good vibe with the U family, man. We got, if you're a full member of the group and hands off, all right, there's an onboarding call tonight at 7 p.m. EST. Make sure you're tapped in and locked in for that. We got the morning meetup call tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. EST with Andre St. George, my guy. All right, so make sure you're tapped in for that. If you're not in the U and not tapped in with the family, hey, wish you the best out here, okay? I wish you the best. Good luck figuring it out. Not to say that you can't. It's always easier, man, when you're kicking it, hanging out with like-minded individuals, and you got world-class support with you each and every step of the way to make sure that you get to where your desired goals are. Brandon, let people know where to find you, man, where they can tap in with you. Any closing thoughts?
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you real quick. I appreciate y'all for being here. Shout out to you always for sticking in and rocking out with us. This is for you guys. This is really your opportunity to hear how we handle these situations and talk to sellers. And as I always say, send more offers, do more deals. With a lot of these, I think I'm going to get some offers out to folks. So that's kind of how I try to finish the play and making sure I actually get something in their inbox. The more you send out, the more opportunities you have on the back end. Appreciate y'all for being here. It's always a pleasure. Appreciate you, Chris. And we will be back Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern.
No doubt. All right, y'all. Everybody be good. Much love, y'all. Peace.